Pay very close attention to this because it is affecting more people than they realize. There is a quiet habit that slowly steals focus, drains emotional energy, and keeps the mind in a restless state all day long. It does not look dangerous. It feels normal. In fact, most people around you are doing it constantly. It is the habit of checking again and again, checking the phone, checking notifications, checking messages, checking who viewed, who replied, who reacted. And while it seems small in the moment, the cost of this behavior adds up in ways that deeply disturb inner peace. At first, it feels harmless. A quick glance, just a second. The screen lights up, the eyes focus, the thumb moves almost automatically. But notice what happens inside your body during this pattern. Your attention breaks. Your breathing becomes slightly shallow. Your mind shifts from calm focus into alert mode. You may not consciously notice it, but your nervous system definitely does. But the human mind was not designed to be pulled in hundreds of directions every hour. Yet constant checking trains your brain to stay in a state of low-level tension throughout the day. It becomes harder to concentrate deeply, harder to stay present in conversations, harder to feel mentally quiet even when the room around you is silent. This is why many people today feel tired without understanding why. Their body is not exhausted from physical labor. Their mind is exhausted from constant. Think about a typical hour in your day. You begin working on something important. For a few minutes, your focus starts to settle. Then the urge appears. Just a quick check. Nothing important, just a quick look. But that one small break resets your concentration. Now your brain has to work again to return to the same level of focus. When this happens repeatedly throughout the day, your mental energy drains much faster than it should. Over time, this habit creates a deeper emotional effect. It quietly trains you to depend on external updates for stimulation and reassurance. Instead of feeling settled within yourself, your attention stays slightly outside, waiting, watching, refreshing. That waiting state creates background tension that most people carry without realizing it. Notice the physical feeling the next time you resist checking for a while. At first, there may be restlessness. Your fingers may feel the urge to reach for the device. Your mind may create small excuses. This discomfort is important to understand. It is not a sign that checking is necessary. It is a sign that your brain has become used to frequent stimulation. People often believe peace will come from better circumstances, more money, more approval, more control over what others are doing. But inner calm usually improves much faster when unnecessary checking begins to decrease, because peace is strongly connected to where your attention rests throughout the day. When your attention is constantly pulled outward, your mind rarely gets the chance to fully settle. Even during quiet moments, part of your awareness stays alert, almost waiting for the next update. That low-level alertness keeps the nervous system slightly tense from morning until night. There is also another hidden cost. Constant checking weakens patience. It trains the brain to expect immediate feedback, immediate responses. Over time, this makes deeper work and long periods of focus feel more uncomfortable than they should. Not because you lack ability, but because your attention has been trained to jump too frequently. The good news is that this pattern can be changed. The brain is highly adaptable. But the first step is honest awareness. Notice how often the urge to check appears during your day. Notice what triggers it: boredom, uncertainty, waiting. Even mild discomfort can trigger the habit. Once you see the pattern clearly, something powerful begins to happen. The behavior stops feeling automatic. You begin to recognize the choice point, that small moment between the urge and the action. That moment is where control slowly returns. It is also helpful to understand that most of what people repeatedly check does not require immediate attention. And so, messages can wait. Updates can wait. Most information does not lose value simply because you looked at it later. But your peace of mind does lose value when your focus is constantly fragmented. Pay attention tonight when the room becomes quiet and the day slows down. Notice whether your mind feels settled or still slightly restless. Many people discover that even in silence, their thoughts feel jumpy. That is often the residue of a day filled with constant checking. Reducing this habit does not mean disconnecting from the world. It means reconnecting with your own attention. It means deciding when to engage instead of reacting automatically every few minutes. That shift alone can dramatically change how calm your days begin to feel. There is strength in controlled attention. There is clarity in uninterrupted focus. And there is deep emotional relief when your mind is not constantly pulled outward by every small notification. Right now, nothing dramatic needs to happen. No extreme changes, just awareness and small adjustments repeated consistently. The person who learns to check less often usually discovers something surprising. Their mind feels quieter. Their work improves. Their patience grows stronger. Their inner state becomes more stable. Everything begins to change the moment your attention stops being constantly interrupted. And the process of reclaiming that calm begins with one simple decision repeated throughout the day. Not every urge to check deserves your focus. There is a level of mental clarity that many people have forgotten is even possible. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack but because their attention has been divided so many times throughout the day that their mind rarely experiences long stretches of calm focus anymore. The good news is, this clarity is not gone. It has simply been buried under layers of constant interruption. And the moment you begin to reclaim your focus, your mental space starts to feel different in ways that are immediately noticeable. Focus is like a muscle that responds to how it is used. When it is pulled away every few minutes, it weakens. When it is protected and allowed to stay on one task longer, it strengthens. Most people today are not struggling because they cannot concentrate. They are struggling because their environment and habits have trained their attention to scatter too quickly. This is why even highly capable individuals sometimes feel mentally foggy by the middle of the day. Pay attention to the physical sensation of deep focus. When your attention stays on one meaningful task without interruption, your breathing becomes more even. Your shoulders feel less tight. Time begins to pass in a smoother way. That state is not rare or special. It is natural when your mind is given the chance to settle. The problem is that constant checking keeps breaking this natural rhythm. Each time you shift your attention to something unrelated, your brain must reset. That reset costs energy. It also creates mental residue that makes it harder to fully return to the original task. One interruption may feel small, but repeated dozens of times, it creates noticeable mental fatigue. Reclaiming your mental space begins with a simple shift in awareness. Instead of reacting instantly to every alert, you begin deciding when your attention moves. That one change places you back in control of your own focus. It may feel uncomfortable at first because your brain has grown used to frequent stimulation, but discomfort in this phase is a normal sign of adjustment. One of the most powerful practices is creating short periods of protected focus during your day, not extreme isolation. Just intentional blocks of time where your attention stays on one priority without being pulled away. Even 30 to 40 minutes of uninterrupted work can begin retraining your mind to stay steady. During these focus periods, something interesting happens internally. Your thoughts become more organized, your work becomes more efficient. The mental noise that usually fills the background begins to quiet down. Many people are surprised by how much calmer they feel after just a few sessions of true, uninterrupted focus. There is also an emotional benefit that often goes unnoticed. When your attention is constantly scattered, your mind rarely feels complete at the end of the day. Tasks remain half-finished. Conversations feel partially processed. Your brain stays in a low-level state of unfinished business. But when you give full attention to what matters, the sense of completion increases, and with it comes a deeper form of satisfaction. Your environment plays a major role in protecting your mental space. Look at the area where you spend most of your working hours. Is it inviting constant distraction or supporting concentration? Small changes in your surroundings can reduce the number of times your attention is pulled away without your permission. Another key piece is how you handle moments of boredom. Many people check their devices not because something urgent happened, but because the mind briefly feels unstimulated. Learning to sit calmly through short moments of boredom is actually a powerful focus skill. It teaches your brain that it does not need constant input to remain comfortable. As you practice reclaiming your attention, your patience begins to grow. You become less reactive. Your decisions become more deliberate. Even your conversations improve because you are fully present instead of partially distracted. People can feel the difference when someone is truly paying attention. Often, a mind that spends the day jumping rapidly between stimuli tends to stay more restless at night. But a mind that experiences long stretches of steady focus usually settles more easily when it is time to rest. This process does not require perfection. Some days your attention will still scatter. Some days distractions will win. That is part of normal human behavior. What matters is the overall direction of your habits. Each day you protect your focus even slightly more than before, your mental strength increases. There is a quiet confidence that develops when you know your attention belongs to you again. You no longer feel pulled by every small notification. You begin choosing your moments of engagement instead of reacting automatically. That shift creates a powerful sense of control that many people have not felt in years. Your mind performs best when it is allowed to fully engage with one meaningful task at a time, not in a rushed way, not under constant interruption, in a steady, intentional rhythm that your nervous system was naturally designed to support. As you continue forward, remember this: every time you resist an unnecessary check and stay focused on what truly matters, you are strengthening your ability to think clearly and live calmly. Over time, these small acts of controlled attention rebuild the mental space that constant distraction slowly eroded. And when your mental space becomes clear again, everything in your daily experience begins to feel more manageable and more peaceful. There is a quiet emotional loop that traps many capable people, and most of them do not even realize it is happening. On the surface, it looks harmless: a quick glance to see who responded, a small check to see who noticed, a fast refresh to see if something changed. But underneath that simple motion, something deeper is being trained inside the nervous system. It becomes a cycle of anxiety, followed by brief relief, repeated so often that the brain starts to depend on it. Pay attention to the feeling just before you check. There is usually a slight tension in the chest, a small pull in the mind, a sense of waiting for something. It is subtle, but it is there. That feeling is not random. It is the body entering a mild state of uncertainty. And uncertainty, when repeated often enough, creates background stress that follows you throughout the day. Then the check happens, the screen lights up, information appears. For a brief moment, the tension drops. The mind feels satisfied, even if nothing important was found. That small drop in tension teaches the brain something very powerful. Checking brings relief. And once the brain learns that pattern, it begins to repeat it automatically. This is how the anxiety validation loop quietly forms. Not through dramatic events, but through hundreds of small repetitions that train your emotional responses over time. The problem is not the single check. The problem is the dependency that slowly builds around it. Over time, the mind begins to expect frequent reassurance. Silence starts to feel uncomfortable. Waiting begins to feel heavier than it should. Even short gaps without updates can create unnecessary mental pressure. Many people live in this state for years, thinking it is normal to feel slightly restless most of the day. But there is nothing natural about a constantly unsettled mind. Your system was designed to experience long stretches of calm focus. It was designed to handle uncertainty without immediate reassurance every few minutes. When the checking habit becomes too frequent, it slowly weakens your natural tolerance for waiting and patience. Breaking this loop begins with awareness of the emotional pattern, not just the behavior. Notice what you feel right before the urge appears. Notice the physical sensation in your body. Notice the small spike of alertness in your mind. Once you can recognize the buildup, you gain the power to interrupt it. The first few times you resist the urge to check, your body may feel slightly uncomfortable. That is expected. Your nervous system is adjusting to a new pattern. Instead of immediately removing the tension through checking, you are allowing the feeling to pass on its own. This is one of the most important emotional skills a person can develop. When you stay present through that brief discomfort, something important happens. The tension rises, holds for a moment, and then begins to fade naturally, without checking, without external reassurance. Your brain starts to relearn that calm can return on its own. Each time this happens, your emotional independence strengthens. You become less reactive to small uncertainties. Your patience expands. Your ability to stay focused without needing constant feedback improves steadily. There is also a powerful shift in self-respect that comes with this change. When you are no longer pulled by every urge to check, you begin to feel more in control of your own attention. That sense of control creates quiet confidence that shows up in many areas of life, not just your digital habits. Conversations become more present. Work becomes more efficient. Even moments of rest feel deeper because your mind is no longer in a constant state of low-level waiting. Many people are surprised by how peaceful ordinary moments begin to feel once this loop starts to weaken. It is important to move through this process gradually. Trying to eliminate all checking at once often creates unnecessary pressure. A more effective approach is reducing frequency step by step. Increase the space between checks. Give your mind time to adjust. Allow your nervous system to relearn calm in a steady way. You may also notice certain times of day when the urge feels stronger. Often it appears during transitions, waiting periods, or moments of mild boredom. These are key opportunities to practice staying present instead of automatically reaching outward for stimulation. Your breathing can help during these moments. Slow, steady breaths signal safety to the nervous system. They help the body settle while the urge passes. Over time, your system begins to recognize that it no longer needs constant updates to remain calm. The person who breaks this anxiety validation loop gains something extremely valuable in today's fast-moving world: emotional steadiness. Not because life becomes perfectly quiet, but because their internal state becomes less dependent on constant external feedback. As the days pass, the change becomes noticeable. Your mind feels less jumpy. Your focus holds longer. Your emotional reactions soften. The small spaces of silence in your day begin to feel comfortable again instead of restless. Right now, progress begins with simple awareness and small acts of restraint repeated consistently. Each time you allow the urge to pass without reacting, you are retraining your nervous system. Each time you choose presence over automatic checking, you are strengthening your inner stability. And slowly, quietly, the loop that once kept your mind on edge begins to loosen its grip, making room for the calm and clarity that were there all along, waiting for your attention to finally return home. Calm is not something that randomly appears in a person's life. It is built through the way attention is managed hour by hour. Many people search for peace in big changes, but the nervous system responds most strongly to small daily patterns. When your attention is scattered all day, your body stays slightly tense. When your attention becomes more controlled and intentional, your system begins to settle in a noticeable way. Controlled attention means you decide where your focus goes, instead of allowing every small trigger to pull you away. It sounds simple, but in today's fast environment, this is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. Without it, even a quiet room can feel mentally noisy. With it, even a busy day can feel organized and steady. Pay attention to how your body feels when your focus is constantly interrupted. Your eyes move quickly. Your breathing becomes shallow without you realizing it. Your shoulders hold slight tension. These signals are easy to ignore in the moment, but when they repeat all day long, they create real fatigue. Many people think they are simply tired from work, when in reality, their nervous system has been overstimulated for hours. When you begin practicing controlled attention, the first change is subtle but powerful. Your movements slow slightly. Your breathing deepens. Your thoughts begin to line up more clearly. This is your system shifting out of constant alert mode and back toward a more balanced state. One effective way to build this calm is by creating intentional pauses in your day. Short moments where you stop reacting and simply stay present with what you are doing. During these pauses, resist the urge to reach for extra stimulation. Allow your mind to sit with one task, one conversation, or even one quiet moment without immediately filling the space. At first, your brain may resist this change. It has been trained to expect frequent input. But the more often you hold your attention steady, the more comfortable your mind becomes with stillness. Over time, what once felt slightly uncomfortable begins to feel natural. Another important piece is learning to finish what you start before shifting focus. Many people leave tasks half done because something new pulls their attention away. This habit creates mental clutter that builds throughout the day. But when you begin completing one task before moving to the next, your mind experiences more closure, and that closure supports calm thinking. Your physical environment can also support controlled attention. Notice how different your focus feels in a cluttered space compared to a clean, organized one. The brain responds strongly. Reducing unnecessary distractions in your surroundings makes it easier for your attention to stay where you want it. There is also strength in setting specific times for checking messages or updates instead of doing it continuously. When your brain knows there is a planned moment to review information, the urge to check randomly begins to weaken. This creates longer stretches of uninterrupted mental space. As you continue practicing this skill, your emotional reactions begin to change. Situations that once felt urgent may start to feel manageable. You respond more thoughtfully instead of reacting quickly. People around you often notice this shift before you fully recognize it yourself. Sleep quality often improves as well. A mind that has practiced steady attention during the day usually settles more easily at night. Instead of racing thoughts, there is more quiet between them. That quiet allows deeper rest, which then improves focus the next day. It is important to remember that controlled attention is not about becoming rigid or disconnected. It is about you still engage with messages, updates, and conversations, but you do it at times you choose, not every time the urge appears. Over days and weeks, the benefits begin to stack. Your work becomes more efficient because your focus holds longer. Your conversations become more meaningful because you are fully present. Even simple daily activities start to feel less rushed and more grounded. One of the most valuable outcomes is emotional steadiness. When your attention is no longer constantly pulled outward, your internal state becomes more stable. Stressful moments still happen, but your recovery becomes faster. Small delays or uncertainties no longer disturb your entire mood. This is the quiet power of controlled attention. It does not demand dramatic changes. It builds strength through small, repeated decisions about where your focus goes. Each time you hold your attention on what truly matters, you reinforce calm inside your system. Right now, the next opportunity to practice is already in front of you. The next task you begin, the next conversation you enter, the next quiet moment that appears in your day. Handle that moment with steady focus. Allow your attention to stay where you place it. Over time, these simple acts create something many people are searching for, but rarely build correctly: a mind that feels clear, steady, and calm, even in the middle of a busy world. Freedom has a very quiet sound. It does not shout. It does not beg for attention. It shows up in a calm mind, in steady breathing, in the simple ability to go through your day without feeling pulled, back every few minutes to check something that does not truly matter. Many people think freedom comes from having more information, more updates, more proof that everything is moving in the right direction. The truth is the opposite. Real freedom begins the moment the need to constantly check starts to fade. There is a heavy weight that comes from living in update mode all day. You can feel it in your shoulders. You can feel it in the tightness behind your eyes after staring at screens too long. You can feel it in the low-level tension that never fully leaves your body. That tension is not random. It is the cost of always waiting for the next signal, the next notification, the next sign that you are okay. Living freely means stepping out of that cycle on purpose. It means waking up in the morning and choosing your direction before the world starts pulling at your attention. It means working on something meaningful without feeling the urge to stop every few minutes to see who reacted, who responded, or who noticed. It means trusting your path enough that you no longer need constant confirmation from the outside. This is where emotional strength becomes visible in everyday life. A person who needs updates every hour is still emotionally dependent on outside noise. A person who can move through the day with calm focus has built something much stronger inside. That strength does not happen overnight. It grows when small decisions are made repeatedly. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone for no real reason, you build a little more control. Every time you stay focused on your work instead of chasing quick validation, your mind becomes steadier. Over time, something shifts. Your breathing becomes slower, your thoughts become clearer, your reactions become more measured. People around you may not even understand what changed, but they will feel it. Calm energy is noticeable. Focused people stand out in a distracted world. There is also a deep emotional reward that comes with this way of living. When the need for constant updates disappears, space opens inside your mind. That space is where creativity lives. That space is where good decisions are made. That space is where confidence begins to feel natural instead of forced. Many people are tired today, but they are not tired from hard work. They are tired from scattered attention. They are exhausted from the habit of checking, refreshing, looking, and waiting. It drains mental energy in small pieces all day long until the evening arrives and nothing meaningful feels accomplished. Living freely without needing updates restores that lost energy. Your work sessions become deeper, your conversations become more present, your quiet moments start to feel peaceful instead of uncomfortable. Even simple things like drinking tea, walking outside, or sitting in silence begin to feel different because your mind is no longer racing to the next update. There is also another layer to this that most people miss. When you stop constantly checking, your self-respect grows. You send a message to yourself that your time has value. You show your own mind that you are in charge of where your attention goes. That internal message matters more than most people realize. Confidence is not only built by big wins. It is built by small daily proof that you can guide your own behavior. Every moment of controlled attention is a vote for the person you are becoming. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. The habit of checking is deeply wired for many people. The fingers almost move on their own. The mind creates excuses. It says maybe something important came in. Maybe you are missing something. Maybe you should just take a quick look. This is the moment where growth happens. Not in big dramatic decisions, but in these quiet seconds where you choose discipline over impulse. The more often you make that choice, the easier it becomes. The brain begins to relax because it no longer expects constant stimulation. The nervous system begins to settle because it is not being pulled in different directions all day. With time, the silence that once felt strange starts to feel powerful. You begin to notice details in your environment again. The sound of your own breathing becomes steady and slow. Your thoughts line up instead of running over each other. Work that once felt heavy starts to feel more manageable because your focus is no longer broken into small fragments. This is how free people actually live. Not free because they escaped responsibility, but free because they gained control over their attention. Free because they are no longer reacting to every small signal from the outside world. Free because their peace does not depend on constant feedback. There is strength in being informed. But there is greater strength in knowing when enough is enough. You do not need to know everything immediately. You do not need to monitor every reaction. You do not need to refresh your life every few minutes to make sure it is still moving forward. Progress often happens quietly in the background while you are focused on the work that truly matters. The people who move the furthest in life are usually the ones who learned how to stay focused longer than everyone else. They trained their attention the same way others train their bodies. They built the ability to stay present even when distractions were available everywhere. That level of focus creates results. But even more importantly, it creates peace. And peace is something many people are chasing without realizing why it keeps slipping away. It slips away every time attention is scattered. It slips away every time the mind is pulled into unnecessary checking. It slips away every time outside noise is given more importance than inner direction. Living freely without needing updates is not about disconnecting from the world completely. It is about reconnecting with your own priorities. It is about choosing when to engage instead of reacting automatically. It is about building a life where your mind feels like a calm place to live instead of a crowded room full of noise. When this shift becomes real in your daily routine, everything begins to feel different. Work improves, sleep improves, conversations improve, even your posture changes because tension slowly leaves the body. This is the quiet power most people overlook. And the beautiful part is that it starts with small decisions made consistently. Not dramatic changes, not extreme rules, just steady control over where your attention goes day after day. Stay with that long enough, and freedom stops being an idea. It becomes your normal way of living. As this message settles in your mind, understand something very clearly. Inner peace is not something that appears by accident. It is built through the quiet decisions nobody else sees. It is built in the moments when you choose focus instead of distraction, calm instead of urgency, direction instead of reaction. The world will continue to move fast. Notifications will keep coming. People will keep watching, comparing, and refreshing their lives every few minutes. But you are no longer required to live that way. There is a different path available to you now. A path where your attention is not for sale. A path where your emotional state is not controlled by every small update. A path where your days feel more solid, more intentional, and more peaceful. That kind of life does not begin with a big announcement. It begins quietly, often unnoticed, with a simple personal decision to stop chasing every signal that tries to pull you away from what truly matters. You may still feel the old habits trying to pull you back. That is normal. Patterns that have been repeated for years do not disappear in a single day. But every time you pause instead of reacting, every time you stay focused instead of checking, every time you protect your mental space instead of giving it away, you are strengthening something powerful inside yourself. You are building personal authority over your own mind. And that is one of the greatest forms of freedom a person can experience. There will come a day, sooner than you expect, when the noise that once felt urgent will start to feel distant. The pressure to constantly monitor everything will lose its grip. Your mind will feel clearer when you wake up. Your work will feel deeper when you sit down to focus. Your evenings will feel calmer because your energy has not been drained by hundreds of small distractions. That is when you will realize the shift is real. Life begins to feel more steady. Your thoughts become more organized. Your emotions stop swinging so easily. Even your confidence starts to feel more natural because it is no longer based on outside reactions. It is built on the quiet proof that you can guide your own behavior. Most people never reach this point because they never train their attention long enough. They keep giving their focus away in small pieces until the day feels scattered and unfinished. But you are now aware of the pattern, and awareness is powerful when it is followed by consistent action. From this moment forward, protect your focus like it matters, because it does. Guard your peace like it has value, because it does. Choose your attention with intention, because where your attention goes, your life follows. You do not need to check everything to be successful. You do not need constant updates to move forward. You do not need outside validation to stay on your path. What you need is steady direction, controlled attention, and the discipline to stay present with what truly deserves your energy. This is how quiet stay consistent with it. Stay patient with yourself. And most importantly, stay committed to becoming a person who chooses focus over noise and peace over pressure. Your next level of clarity, confidence, and inner calm is not far away. It is built one focused day at a time.